All right, so uh, I'm back with another vlog, and I think we are on the fifth one. This is What Did I Do, episode 4. I've been debating whether I want to start mentioning the date in in these vlogs. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't decided yet. I think I'll start doing that. Today is the 20th of June 2026, and uh, I'm back with another vlog. Sorry, I wasn't sure what to say there. So for today's vlog, what I wanted to show is this project that I've been working on. Um, so okay, usually when I hear anybody is learning a new programming language, then I usually advise them, if they ask for advice, I usually advise people to just make dumb programs, make all sorts of silly programs using the programming language that you are currently learning. The reason for that is because, sorry, the reason for that is because as you as you build these programs, even if they're silly programs, even if they're programs that you don't ever plan on releasing, and you don't plan on showing them to anyone, and they're not meant to be functional programs at all. They're not really meant to do anything useful. Even if that is the case, you're just building silly toy programs. You're still gonna learn a lot. You're still gonna gain a lot of experience from doing the problem solving that you have to do while working on those programs, and you will run into problems that you need to solve while working on even the silly programs. So I usually give this advice, but then I've realized that I don't often follow that advice, and that's not because I don't want to. It's mostly because I don't really have anyone to remind me that, you know, I should try doing that. And so every now and then I kind of have to just remind myself when I do realize that, hey, I'm learning a new language. And to be fair, it's not every day that I'm exploring a new programming language. So that's another reason why, if I don't get the thought that, yeah, I should be doing a bunch of practice programs, a bunch of silly programs, then I'm just not gonna think about it. Um, so recently, what I did is told I had a conversation with Gemini, and I said that, see, here is the list of topics that I'm currently familiar with in Rust, and because I haven't studied all of Rust, I haven't explored all of Rust yet. I'm not comfortable with using um, a bunch of the more advanced Rust features. I haven't fully explored stuff like smart pointers and bare bones multi-threading, and also even higher level stuff like async programming using Tokyo, for example. I've explored it a little bit, but I wouldn't say I'm very comfortable, doing it. Um, so I asked Gemini to just give me an idea for a silly program to work on, and I gave it the list of topics, let's say, because I have like a syllabus file that lists all the various Rust related topics that I have to learn, and I told Gemini that, okay, I'm knowledgeable up to so and so chapter, and based on this knowledge that I have, based on what I do know, I would like you to give me ideas for silly programs that I could work on. These are just meant to be silly practice programs. They're not meant to be anything production ready. They're not meant to even be functional in any way. They're just meant to be silly programs. You tell me that, hey, build a program that does so and so silly thing, and I'll build it. and then Gemini gave me an idea, and that gave me the idea for a sort of collective project. I'm not sure what to call it. A collection of silly programs, a collection of dumb programs. So I created a repo called Rust Dumb Programs. I created a project as well called Rust Dumb Programs, and within this project, because Rust allows you to set up examples, or I think I should say Cargo allows you to set up examples. Well, let's just say Rust allows you to. You can set up examples by doing. Hold on. Okay, so if you look at the directory here, I have the project directory open in Yahtzee. You can see there's the src folder, the source folder. Hold on, let me zoom in a little bit so it's better visible. Okay, so the within usually your main.rs file would be within src, so that's the source directory. Additionally, you can also create a directory called examples, and within that directory you can either have a Rust file within the not one Rust file, multiple Rust files within the examples directory, and you can then run each of these examples as their own separate binary. You can get Rust to compile, you can get Cargo to compile each of them as their own separate binary. You can either have them as individual files, or if that specific binary does need, or that specific program does need multiple files, then you can just create a directory within the examples directory and add your multiple files there. In that case, your directory name would be the name of the binary, and within that directory you would have the main.rs file, pretty much like the src directory. Alright, so what I've done here is I created, so far I've only done one example program, one, let's say, dumb program. The idea here was that it's a terminal virtual pet, and you start up the program and you select an action. For actions you have choices between these four: feed, pet, scold, or ignore. And depending on what action you choose, the pet's mood is going to change. I have the logic for the mood change here, and depending on what the mood is, it's going to pick a dialogue. There's 4 dialogues for each mood, so it's going to pick a random dialogue from the array that's assigned for that specific mood. I created a hash map to store these dialogues. It's going to pick a random dialogue, and then it's gonna print that out. So to run this example, instead of just doing cargo run, you would do cargo run and then provide the example flag, and then the name of the binary, I guess you should call it, the name of the example, let's say. In my case, it's called EX01. So if I run this, you can see now it's asking for input. There's a little extra information there as well to explain what the program does. And if I give it, let's say, the action of scold, it gives a reply. The idea here is that it's supposed to be a goofy program, so it's not really supposed to make sense. So for any given action, there might be some corresponding mood that's just, it doesn't make sense. And for every mood, there's a bunch of sarcastic replies that have been assigned. Well, for every mood, there's 4 sarcastic or goofy replies that have been assigned. So I could do, let's say, feed, and then it gives that reply. It says pet responds. I looked up mediocre. You can read what it says. So yeah, this is the program. Now this program is in EX01, which is within the examples directory. When I work on the second example, I'm going to create an EXO2 directory and put the example in that, and it's going to continue like that. And this is this is a repo because Rust projects, they have repos initialized in them by default. And what I've done is I've uploaded this to GitHub as well. So usually with my projects, what I do is I create two central repos. One is a local central repo, so I'll initialize a bare Git repo, and that's going to be stored locally. That's going to be one of the remotes for the project, and then I'll create a repo on GitHub as well, be it private or public, and then that's going to be another remote for the repo. So this way, I have two central repos for each project. One is my locally hosted one, and the other is hosted on GitHub. Again, be it public or private. Okay, so I'm noticing that this video has gone on a little too long. I think I yapped a little too much at the beginning of the video. There was a bunch of, I think there was a bunch of pauses and stuff. I wasn't sure what to say, or maybe I was just rambling on. I don't know. But yeah, this is one of the multiple things that I've been up to. I'm gonna be doing more example programs over the next few days or weeks, or as time goes by. I'll do more and more example programs, and each time I have a new example program created or ready, I'll push it to each of these central repos. These are not meant to be. Hold on, let me have the code in focus. Okay, so yeah, these are not meant to be useful programs. They're not meant to be any sort of production ready programs. They're not even meant to be functional in any way, shape, or form. They're meant to be silly programs, just dumb programs that I'm building for the sake of exploring and practicing Rust. That's the whole idea, exploring the language. And whenever I run into problems, then I have to solve those problems with the language, and that is what teaches me more about Rust. Even with this one project, even with this simple program, I got to learn a lot of stuff. I would like to go into the details of what I learned, but I don't know. I feel like the video is getting a bit too long. So I'm not sure if I want to really go into the details, but I did get to learn quite a bit. Maybe in the next vlog I'll cover what I learned in this program, if I even remember what all I learned. Right now I do remember, but again, I don't want the video to become way too long. But yeah, this is what I've been up to, and other than this, I've also started working on my knowledge base tool. That is that's an actual project that I'm working on for my own knowledge base, which is going to be a public knowledge base. And there's a tool that I have to work on for that, to be able to do various things like create entries, maybe list entries, if need be, manage, delete entries and stuff like that. And the knowledge base, at some point there will be a web version of it, so a version that can be indexed or read or explored through a website that I'll be hosting. But yeah, more on that later. I am currently working on that project. That is one of my more serious projects that I'm working on, and I'll give you guys updates when I have some. This video has become way too long. I'm gonna end the vlog here. That is it for this vlog. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.